Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Read Aloud with Miss Cope. So yesterday was our first online video lesson, reading lesson, and I was so happy to see all of your faces. It made my entire day. And I see that a lot more of you subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I can't wait to get back to reading with the Night of Angels with all of you this morning by Andrea Davis Pinkney. All right, so we left off Saturday, January 8th, 1955, diary book. I guess every white family in Ivoryton wants clean clothes to start the year. Mama's been under a mountain of laundry. With the weather being so cold, we hang the wet clothes on racks in our cellar, but we're low on racks and space to hang. Our living room has turned into a haunted house of sheet ghosts and headless dresses hanging from ceiling rafters, dancing above our radiator stream. What if they boycott us? I asked Mama. Then the Lord will provide some other way, Mama answered, sounding sure. Daddy said your Mama's laundry service is the only one and the best one within miles. Some white people can be mean, but they know what's good when it comes to laundry. I see what Dawnie's thinking. She's thinking since all the Negroes in her community boycotted Sutter's Dairy, that the white folks will boycott Mama's laundry business. Monday, January 10th, 1955, diary book. I am no monkey. I am no elephant. I am no dog. If going to PE means I will have to put up with stupid girls, then I'll stick with eraser clapping. At least when I clap erasers, there's Mr. Williams who treats me kindly. Today, in the girls' locker room, after I had changed into my gym suit, I had to pee before going out into the gym. Mama had warned me quietly that whites don't like us using their bathrooms and that I should always be mindful of this when I feel the need to relieve myself. Most school days, I hold it from morning till afternoon. Then, gosh, as soon as I get home. But today I couldn't keep it in, so I went. I knew something was strange when the locker room grew silent when I squatted to urinate. As soon as I let loose, I heard muffled giggles and whispering coming from someplace above my head. I didn't want to look up, but how could I not? Looking over the top of the stall was Teresa Ludlow from science class and 4 other girls. I yanked up my panties and gym bloomers, but it was too late. They'd seen my bare bottom already. Teresa said, I thought monkeys had tails. Where's your tail, Dawnie? Another girl, Jennifer Little, the red-headed child from Mr. Dumfries' Democracy Circle, answered, maybe Donnie's not a monkey. I mean, she's such a big-boned girl. I would think she got an elephant's tail. They all laughed. Then 2 more girls, whose names I didn't know, started making barking noises. Didn't you know? One girl asked the other. All Negroes have dog tails. Maybe Donnie's tucked hers away in her underpants. Mrs. Remsen's whistle sounded right then, and the girls scurried away to the gym. I waited till I heard the door to the gym rattle close. When I came out from the stall, I kicked hard at the lockers. I wanted my baseball mitt. I wanted to punch. I sat for a moment on the locker room bench, punching at my knees. I could hear the girls' squeals and shouts echoing in the gym. I made my way to join the rest of the class. Gertie was waiting for me. You look like you've seen a ghost. No ghost in there, I said, but plenty of witches. Mrs. Remsen's whistle blew for the second time. Now she was blowing it at me. Dawnie, you're late. Take 20 laps around the gym. I didn't flinch. Mrs. Remsen had done me a favor. I started off slow and sprinted. Well, those baby witches tumbled their somersaults. So that wasn't a very good experience for Dawnie. And I think those girls used some very, very hurtful words. And I think Dawnie handled it very well. No one likes to be called mean and nasty words, right? But she did the right thing. Instead of fighting back, she ignored and went about her business. But still, it doesn't make what those girls did right. Wednesday, January 12th, 1955, diary book. Daddy has taken to helping Mama wash, fold, and iron. He complains that this is woman's work. I love my daddy, but that is a backward idea. God gave hands to men and women, except for bigger palms and longer fingers. A man's hands can do the same thing a woman's hands can do. The same is true the other way around, except for softer skin and nicer cuticles. A woman's hands are the same as a man's. Ironing, folding clothes can be done by anybody with hands. I hope Daddy gets a job soon. Friday, January 14th, 1955, diary book. Gertie called out to me as I was walking home from school. Dawnie, wait up! Her coat was made from the thickest wool plaid I've ever seen. It was a nice coat. She fished a black licorice twig from her pocket. Want some candy? I am never supposed to take candy from somebody I don't know. Well, I'm sure not supposed to eat candy on a regular day. That's not a holiday. But Gertie wasn't really a stranger. And one licorice twig was more like a snack, not a treat. Gertie chomped and talked and walked alongside me. Where are you going? She asked. Where else would I be going? Home, I said. Me too, said Gertie. Gertie was with me for most of the whole 2 miles as we made our way closer to Crossland Avenue. When we got to the place where Ivoryton ends and my neighborhood begins, Gertie kept walking. Now, I was the one asking, where are you going? Home. Gertie handed me another licorice twig, red this time. Where's your house at? I wanted to know. Maple Street, Gertie said. I stopped walking. So did Gertie. What's the matter? Gertie asked. You live in the colored part of town? Gertie shrugged. She looked puzzled. I guess I do. Man's sakes, I was witnessing a strange miracle. A white girl who does not live in Ivoryton? I explained all about Ivoryton and Crow's Nest and how the neighborhood works in Hadley. That's just stupid, Gertie said. At the corner of Crossland Avenue, me and Gertie waved goodbye. See you tomorrow, she said. She handed me a third licorice twig, another black one. It was sure sweet. The ball on top of Gertie's hat bobbled as she walked away. So isn't that interesting? So Gertie comes from New York City, and she lives in a colored neighborhood, a white girl. And Dawnie goes to an all-white school. So maybe they're more similar than they think. Monday, January 17th, 1955, diary book. A letter to the editor appeared in today's Hadley Register. Here it is. Dear editor, thank you for your coverage of the recent events surrounding integration. I have lived in Hadley all my life. This is a peaceful town. We have enjoyed the goodness of neighbors and friends. As a mother, I have always done right by our 3 children and have made their well-being on top priority. This includes their education, but now, with this push for integration, school has become a bad place for my children. It will only get worse if we let integration continue. There is good reason to keep schools segregated. Colored children learn differently than white children. Coloreds are slower and less capable of grasping certain concepts. It is unfair to white and colored children to mix them together, especially in a school setting. By doing so, we rob each of them the opportunity to learn as best they can, and we ruin any chance we may have for keeping our town one of the state's finest, signed anonymous. So that sounds like one perspective from a white person who lives in Hadley. And they have the misconception that people of color are slower and not as capable of understanding concepts and learning new things like white kids. It doesn't make sense. I read the letter twice, then I looked up anonymous. So it was signed by anonymous. And anonymous means having an unknown name or identity. So you would sign anonymous when you don't want anyone to know who you are, right? Tuesday, January 18th, 1955, diary book. I don't agree with the letter from that unknown mother with the 3 kids, but she's right about one thing. Integration has robbed people and ruined chances. Because I'm attending Prettyman, nobody will hire Daddy in Hadley, not even black people. Everyone's afraid that employing Daddy will somehow bring them trouble. Today, he drove as far as Richmond looking for work. He came home with his hands in his pockets, his head down and no job. Tonight, I heard him tell Mama that somehow, some way, word has traveled that his child is the one integrating the school in Hadley. Then, when Daddy goes asking for work, he should tell people his name is Mr. Anonymous. Wednesday, January 19th, 1955, late night diary book. Somebody threw a glass of milk bottle at our front door. It smashed onto our porch, splattering milk everywhere. I will be sleeping with the light on again. It's kind of scary. Thursday, January 20th, 1955, diary book. The phone won't stop. My prayers stay strong. I'm scareder than scared. Friday, January 21st, 1955, diary book. Another letter to the editor of Hadley Register appeared today. It said, Dear Hadley Register, we are living in the modern age. We have television and we even have frozen TV dinners. Scientists have found a way to launch a rocket ship. These are all great advances in scientific progress, but they don't account for human progress. We slow humans' progress by trying to go against natural forces. If race mixing were meant to be, then blacks and whites would be able to get along much easier. This has never been the case. Coloreds make it hard to like them or to trust them. They are mean and dishonest people. Whites only signs serve an important purpose. These signs should be posted at Prettyman Coburn's. Integrating our schools allows for the influx of boys and girls who come from a disreputable clan of people. Sincerely, Lester Rood, President, Hadley Business Owners Association. So here are some more misconceptions from white people. Not only are colored people not as smart as white people, they are also dishonest and they are not to be trusted. So, have you ever heard of the word stereotyping? It's when you put a trait or a character trait on an entire group of people. And now you assume that everyone who looks that way or talks that way or has those certain characteristics is that way, right? Even though we know that everyone is different. So not every white boy acts the same way and does the same thing. Not every black girl looks the same way and acts the same way, right? We can't stereotype. And that's what it sounds like white people are doing. They're saying, oh, well, all black people are dishonest and not very smart. And if we have them in our schools, then that's going to make us look bad. I have never met Lester Rudd, but I think he's very confused. I have never seen a frozen TV dinner. Why would anyone want to eat a dinner that's frozen and shaped like a TV? Sunday, January 23rd, 1955, diary book. The phone woke us this morning, 4 rings in a row, then silence and 4 rings more. We all came into the kitchen. None of us answered the phone. Daddy was in his bathrobe still with his toolkit. He carefully dismantled the phone. He took the whole thing off the wall. Now the phone never rings. Daddy hushed it for good. All right, I think we're gonna stop there. That was a lot in our reading today. It sounds like the people in Hadley, especially the white people, are getting even more frustrated about integrating schools. Dawnie doesn't feel safe in her home. She doesn't feel safe in school. She's being called names in her school. Milk bottles are being thrown at their door, porch, right? People are calling their home and hanging up. People are writing some awful things in the newspaper, the Hadley newspaper. So we have a lot of things that are going against Dawnie trying to get a good education and go against the grain, right? Going against segregation of schools. So we'll see what happens next. I will meet you back here tomorrow, same time. Thanks for listening. You all are the best. I can't wait to see you again for our video meeting, our morning meeting. And also, if you decide to come see me during my office hours, I would love that. Alrighty, have a lovely Tuesday. Toodles, everyone. Bye.